This story takes place a few years ago. I was in my senior year of high school, and the year was coming to an end. All that was left for us seniors to do was to take our final exams and graduate. Because of this, I would spend most of my time that I wasn't studying on Facetime with my girlfriend Chelsea. We had both been accepted into the same college, and so we generally would just talk about our futures, our potential majors, and other fun things that took our mind off of high school. This night was no different. I was laying in bed keeping Chelsea company through FaceTime as she was alone at the moment. You see, I would have been there with her, but I had a younger brother who I was home watching right now. Anyways, I remember the time being around 9:30 when this next part happened. I remember us talking innocently about the test she had the next day when all of a sudden, through the phone, I heard something that sounded like a noise coming from her downstairs. "What was that?" I remember asking. I don't know. Here, I'll be right back." "No!" I tried to cut her off, but it was too late. I saw her leave the frame and head downstairs. I was terrified and I had no idea what to do. If it was just her parents or something, I'd feel stupid for calling the cops, but the sound I heard combined with my gut feeling told me that it wasn't her parents. I waited as the minutes passed, and I couldn't hear anything, nor did I see anyone. That wasn't until around another minute had passed. I heard her door open. "Chelsea, are you okay?" I said, hoping to see her walk into the frame and tell me that it was just the wind. Only she didn't come. No one did at first. I heard rummaging through a room, and it was at this point I knew it couldn't be her. Then my worst fears were confirmed. A man dressed in all black could be seen along the side of the frame digging in her dresser. I was gonna throw up. I couldn't make it in time. She lived almost an hour away. I rushed to my brother and told him to call the police after telling him the address of her. Then the man who was in the frame finally took notice of me. He picked up the phone, looked me directly in the eyes, laughed, and hung up. I was frozen. I didn't know what to do. I felt useless. Not even 10 seconds later, I got a phone call. It wasn't from a familiar number, so I answered with caution. "Hello?" "Kev, it's me. Don't freak out. We called the police. When I saw the men, I ran out of my door and into my neighbor's house. I don't even think they saw me." I almost collapsed with relief as everything that was holding me down seemed to lift off my shoulders. I made my way over to the neighbors with my brother, picked up Chelsea, and she stayed the night with us. We warned her parents about the incident and waited to hear from the police. The next day we did. The men had left long before the police arrived, but not without taking a large sum of valuables from the house. The men were never caught, but nevertheless, everyone was safe, and to me, that's all that mattered. I'm so thankful that those men didn't see Chelsea, as if they did, I don't want to imagine what would have happened. At the point of this story, I had just recently moved into a new apartment across the country. I left my family behind to pursue my new career in law, and honestly, it was taking a toll on me. I missed my family and my home. So, this particular night, I remember skipping my late night class to call my mom through FaceTime, as it felt like I had been weeks since I saw her face. Talking to her was great. She caught me up on everything that I had missed, and even though she was driving at the moment, so I couldn't see her well, those moments when I could reminded me of why I want to be successful. I remember her pulling into the Walmart parking lot as she had some shopping to do. I knew this was where we'd have to say goodbye, and though I was sad about it, I was grateful for getting to have the conversation. I remember hanging up as I saw something that terrified me. There was what looked like a man approaching from behind her car. As soon as what I saw registered, I tried to call back, and no answer. I tried again, still no answer. One more time, and finally she answered. Only I don't think she meant to. I was staring up at the top of the car as I heard struggling. The man was trying to attack her. I yelled, hoping that someone could hear me through the phone. I was filled with anger and horror as I couldn't see anything that was happening, and my mom was alone. It was at that moment that I saw the man running off from the side of the passenger window. I made sure to take a screenshot when I saw him, as I called for my mom asking if she was okay. "I'm fine, son. A police officer is pulling up. He saw the altercation." And sure enough, I heard a car pull up, and for what felt like hours, I was left alone staring at the ceiling, hoping everything and everyone was okay. That wasn't until my mom returned. I told her about the screenshot I got, but she informed me that the man was already caught. She told me that the man hadn't hurt her. She assured me that she was tough, and I laughed a hollow sort of laugh. Apparently the man wanted her phone, her purse, and her car. I returned home not even a week later, deciding to study closer to home. I didn't care about the money. I wanted my family, and I needed to be there for them. I've been through a lot of scary things in my life, but undoubtedly the worst thing is hearing my own mother in an altercation and being unaware of the outcome. I'm telling you this story to give you good reason not to walk alone at night. As a man, I've always felt as though I've had some sort of unearned privilege. I felt like I could roam the streets at any hour and feel pretty secure in my own safety. That was until last week. I was on Facetime with one of my coworkers, and we were discussing the details of a new project we were assigned to. I had on earbuds, so I didn't have the best awareness of my own surroundings. Because of this, it was actually my coworker Michael who noticed before I did. I remember him telling me to remain calm, but that there was someone behind me. He told me that he originally thought that the man was just walking, but that he had now been behind me for most of the duration of the 20-minute call. My heart rate increased, and I began to shake as I looked into my camera and saw the man he was talking about. It was a taller man who wore a hat. Because of this, I couldn't see his face, as the rim of the hat blocked out any light. He was uncomfortably close to me. I tried to continue talking to Michael in a lighthearted tone so as to not raise suspicion. I also made repeated turns trying to lose the man. But turn after turn, he was there. I knew things were bad when I ended up going in a circle. There was no way his destination was anywhere but wherever I was going. I whispered to Michael to call the police, but he told me he already had. That was when it happened. From behind me, I heard the increased speed and volume of footsteps as I turned around to see the man fully sprinting at me. I ran. Then in a stroke of pure luck, I saw it. The blue and red lights of a police car pulling up. As soon as I got to the police car window, I turned around to point out the man. It's him! Only he was gone. The man who had been following me throughout the call wasn't there. Feeling completely confused, I talked to the officers. They told me that they would look for the man, but for now to get in, as they would take me the rest of the way home. About a week later, I saw on the news that there was a man who was now wanted. 3 people had gone missing just in the past week, all of them from the same area that I was walking in. I knew deep down that it was the man. I never found out anything else about the man, and it doesn't seem that he was ever caught. The missing person cases are still open. What I did learn, though, is that no one should traverse the empty streets at night, no matter how manly you think you are.